and welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. I'm Becky and I'm in my house and we are talking about all things thread and needle. It's about 7:15 and it's still light outside. I love it. It is June 7th, which is 30 days before Caroline of Evertote's birthday. She'll be 50 this year on July 7th, and we are 40 days away from Becky turning 50 on July 17th. So if you haven't already marked your calendars, please do so. I don't want any presents. I just want attention. Just celebrate, have a toast, have a poached egg in the thought of me on the 17th. I don't know why. I really like poached eggs. A little eggs Benedict that never hurt anybody. Anyway, I digress. It's been a fun 2 weeks. I've have it full of stitching. Not stitching a peacock, a unicorn, a badger, which feels a little weird. It's been a couple weeks since I've really kind of touched it. I finished that last page. I did the second column all the way across except for the background. That's the word, background. But I'll get to that, and I'm not in a hurry. There's no race involved in that. It is a very fun stitch, so I'm not concerned at all about losing momentum. I've just been thoroughly distracted by all the fun things I got a couple weeks ago, and also drunk with power. So let's jump into it. I do have some fun things to share after I show you what I've been stitching on. Oh, excuse me, my Container Store vinyl bag was in my way. So let's first start about the last thing I talked about on my last episode was Love One Another. And it's that time of day where the sunlight's coming in and it's peeking around my curtain. Love One Another, people. Look at it. Whoop. Can you tell this is blue? It's kind of next to my light blue shirt. This fabric is a light blue, and I've done this video several times, and you would think I would remember to get this linen color every time, but no. I do know it's a lakeside linen. It's a 32 count, but the name escapes me of what it is. I know it's probably an older color. It may not even be available anymore. Similar to this chart. This is a chart that I have had, my mother bought in North Carolina in like 1981 for $3.50. I did a sulky conversion because this fabric and the sulky threads came from a friend who came to stitching and bestowed gracious love on our stitchy kindness. So these are the threads I picked for it. I think I'm either not going to use or change this one out. But all that's left to do on this guy is kind of figuring out what the colors I want to use for. There's like a little splay of flowers over this way, some more flowers in here, and a couple down here, I think, somewhere around there. But she's really pretty. I really like her. I stopped stitching on her because I got thoroughly distracted again. Caroline of Evertote's birthday, as previously mentioned, is coming up, and I wanted to join her sew along, not just because I consider her a friend, and who doesn't want to celebrate a birthday, especially a nice big one like what we're about to do, but she collaborated with the Artsy Housewife, and I have loved the Artsy Housewife from afar. Just kind of like Kathy Barrick, I can't decide what I want to stitch, so I haven't stitched anything. But when she started talking about this one, I was like, I'm in. Hit me fast enough. So this is what the pattern is. This was inspired by some project bag fabric, which I do not have the bag yet. I did order the bag. Yes, I know I make bags, but I need a bag and for this project, and quite frankly, there wasn't moth fabric that I liked out there that was not already perfect. So let me lean down here and get the box out. So I need to bring Carolyn of the Curious Crafters. She also bought this box, and she said out loud on a Flosstube that she was seriously considering starting this as soon as she got it. You can't put these little thoughts in my brain. I couldn't do it. So this is how the box came. A little birthday celebration. It's time for a celebration. Celebrate. It's time to celebrate. Alright, so here's what's in the box. And I've already played with some of this. The scissors are already separated. They were cute little travel scissors that were fantastic. They work really well. These are the threads. Look at these scrumptious threads. Scrumdiddlyocious. And here's the fabric. Specially dyed for the project by both of these are by Roxy Floss Co. I believe both of these are currently available. I think the birthday box is over, but you can buy all the components. This is Buttercup. I got the 40 count. There's another artist, and I apologize, I don't see her name on the list. Let me pull this back out here. Yep, nope, I don't know the name of the of this late artist, but there is a needle minder that is based on the same fabric. So, very excited about this, and I wanted to start it, and I figured the only way to save myself was to start another project. I had bought the Vicious pattern, which, let me pull it up here, from the Artsy Housewife. It was a market release. Sorry. I have it in, I bought the pattern at what sadly I can only call my local needlework shop in Irmo, South Carolina, an hour and a half away from me, which I mean relatively is close. Some people have it 4 hours away from them, so I shall not complain. But I bought the hard pattern, and I really like PDFs, and the PDF wasn't available at the time, but I hadn't started yet, so I gave it to one of my other stitching buddies, and I bought the PDF. And also the Artsy Housewife Weeds and Wildflowers sew along with Caroline, is also available on PDF. So I bought both PDFs, and I bought Vicious. This is Vicious. This cracks me up. And I've always wanted an orange kitty. I'm not in the cat market. The right cat will find me when it's time. I do not think a cat would survive Mia. But regardless, one day I will have a cat. But it cracks me up that it broke the flower. Anyway, so I said, you know, I don't have the threads for it. I know, let's do a color and cotton conversion. So I did that, and I found some platinum linen in 40 count in my stash. I did I have a little bit of a fabric stash, not a ginormous one. It's more now that I got my friend's stash that she gave us or let us pick from. But none of these colors looked great on it. So the platinum is really, you kind of needed a light brown or a light gray neutral. I was very pleased with the colors. Here, some of these pinks aren't showing. Let's do these on the back here. So I started that right away and wanted to tackle the border first. So I did that, and I've gotten to part of the cat. So let's see where we're at. Let me just say, unlike a peacock, a unicorn, a badger, this is not a relaxing stitch. It is a very fun stitch. It is very nice to do, but it is not something that you can zone out on. And I have resorted to just getting a couple needles in and getting these colors. There's 3 colors in the cat, and just doing a little bit of a color and then doing what's next to it and then doing what, and not just trusting the process, because I have checked the chart, I have marked the chart, I have looked at it 4 times, and I was still off. I've done this poor little paw, I've done this poor little face at least 3 times. And now I think I've made a mistake in here, but I think that's easier to fudge. I didn't want the face and the feet to be out of proportion with the body, and as you can see, this is where the page break is. So I just didn't want to have a asymmetrical face or get the whiskers in the wrong spot on this side and the whiskers on the right spot on this side. I really tried to let things go, but it was my little brain. Sometimes it's easier in my mind to fix it so that I don't have to try to remember what I've done or take copious notes on what I've done, and then I can just continue to refer to the pattern. That's the easiest way to say it. But this has been very fun. Another funny thing, and I'm not telling on myself to say, oh, what a horrible stitcher I am. Just another thing, like, this took more concentration than I expected. These little triangles, they're very geometric. They have a distinct pattern. But if I left off this last little X on the bottom once, I left it off at least 5 times. And then I wouldn't notice until it was like way down here and I was off because I'd gotten up too far on the other one. Oh. You would think that I would notice that, but I didn't. It has not stopped the enjoyment of this, and again, this is the first time I've used color and cottons. I loved them. I loved them. They were great. Cotton floss is just one of my favorites. I haven't grown to love silks in the same way, but I also haven't played with as many silks. The different threads I have used, I guess Weeks Dye Works and Gentle Arts. I've used Cosmo, DMC, and Roxy Floss Co. I would say, Mia, what are you doing? Sorry, my dog is getting into trouble. I would say that DMC, Roxy Floss Co. and Color and Cotton all feel very similar to me in the best of ways. They obviously have different dyes and different dye lots, and what I've enjoyed, and I think Roxy Floss Co. is similar, like this red, for example, doesn't look highly variegated, but it does have variegation. And what I noticed is, as I was doing the triangles, like some of these are the same color, but they have changed slightly as I progressed. Now, I didn't cross every X. So a lot of people think or say, and they're not wrong, that if you're using an over-dyed floss, if you spent the money for an over-dyed floss, you should get all the money and bang out of your buck for it and cross every X so that you have a more dramatic look of that color flow. And that's kind of why my friend has passed on all this over-dyed fabric and floss, because she just didn't really like stitching that way. I don't mind. The variegation in the thread still comes across. It's just a little more toned down, and I actually tend to like that a little bit better, so that there are very few instances where I think crossing every X really makes the pattern pop a little bit more, or the motif that I'm working on pop a little bit more. I may be digressing too much, but yeah, I've enjoyed how this has flowed. And let me see if I can get, even in the kitty cat, you can see like this over here is all the same color, but you can see very clearly that there's a little variegation to it, and that is much more subtle than crossing every X, and I have enjoyed that. Have I talked enough about that? As I was been stitching last couple weeks, I was like, I really need to make myself some project bags, because I don't have any empty ones, and I needed some for these small projects. That's why I put them in this big one for Sunday stitching. I put both my Love One Another and Vicious in here to take to stitching, because you gotta show and tell. And so when I got to stitching, one of my friends said, I have a present for you, and I got a bag. So I moved into it immediately. I put Vicious in there, so I'm going to put Vicious back. Well, I'm going to put the threads back. And then I also stowed away this cute little pattern, and it's a little funny story to tell. I bought this pattern 3 years ago, and I tucked it away somewhere, and I said, I know where I'm going to have this. It's going to be fine. And I think we all know the end of the story is that I could not find it again, like ever. And I knew in my heart of hearts where it was, and I looked there multiple times and could not find it. Well, when I was getting ready for Sunday stitching, lo and behold, it was stuck inside something else, which is why I couldn't find it. So this is Chubby Bird by Jeanette Douglas, and it's you know, a 53 by 58 pattern, cute as a button. I'm looking forward to doing it. And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cute little threads in there. Guess what I'm gonna do? Another color conversion. I think I'm gonna just get the threads out again and play around with it. That was such a fun process, and I don't know what has made the difference from not wanting to do anything but what was called for versus doing color conversions, other than the fact now I feel like I have a lot of threads. Like I just feel like I could just go and pick a red or go and pick a green. And now I don't, by all means, I don't have all the colors. But I do think I have enough browns and pinks and greens to pull from to make this cute little birdie. Little chubby bird. So I put him in my cute little Lori Holt fabric bag. You want to see it again? Aren't my friends lovely? I've got good friends, people. You should be my friend so that you can be my friend's friends. Oh, so cute. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I guess to talk about Stitchy Kindness and haul, and I guess end with some plans, because I don't think I've talked about them yet. I think I've only talked about my stitching. So, you all know I love podcasts. I am in the car a lot, so listening to things is a great way for me. I do like to listen to some audiobooks too. But I get into my podcasts way more than I do my audiobooks. So, I listen to The Grateful Thread, and the reason why I'm saying that is because I got a new shirt, my Pride shirt, and I got a sticker from them that makes me laugh, and I don't know if you can read it. I like big blocks and I cannot lie, my other brothers can't deny. Sorry. Ode to my youth. And then I am going to be making some project bags for a friend of mine, so that she can give them away as gifts. And so I was buying some zipper heads, said zippers. And so I was like, oh, this is a perfect excuse to buy from YWAC, which is a company I love. I love, 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 love. I've recently discovered them. I don't know where I was living, under a rock somewhere. I believe they are New York based, but they have a great website and a great catalog. Do you remember when you got the IKEA catalog in the mail? Similar feeling. They carry a lot of like tailoring and sewing supplies. They do have a few specific quilting supplies as well, but they carry name brands on things. So if you need like rotary cutter blades or pins, irons, scissors, they have it. And they are very easy to order from, which for this working woman is important to me. So I bought some zipper heads. They don't have all the colors that I like. If you recall here, let's get down to that cute little yellow mustardy one. Zipper Stop, YWAC have the best zipper head dollar amount pricing points. If you need any zipper, if you have zipper tape and you just want to buy zipper heads separately, go to those two places. Great shipping, great customer service. Zipper Stop you can find on eBay, Etsy, on their own website. YWAC I just found on YWAC.com. W-A-W, here, let's show you. Oh my god. This is one of the things I bought. It was on my list and I was like, next time I buy some zipper heads, I'm buying this. This is a big tin. First of all, it's a cute tin. Beautiful tin. And I work at the container store, people. We're buying things because of the containers, right? So these are just the clever clips that you may know and love. These are good for holding your fabric too on hoops and such if you're interested. This is the YWAC generic version, which will work just fine for me. There's 100 of them in this cute little tin, and I got this tin for $6. Hello, good deal. So I also bought a YWAC, what is this, seam ripper? And I got some blues, and I was trying out some browns and reds of the zipper heads. These colors must be discontinued. I can't find them anywhere, the exact color, except for the green. Zipper Stop has the green color exactly, so I've ordered like 100 of them. Zipper Stop will let me order them in bulk, but I have to order at least 100, and it takes like 30 days or more, which is fine. I just hadn't built up enough zippers to keep me going until then. But I think I'm going to do that because this rusty brown and this red and this golden color here are really hard. Like, they don't have to exactly match, but they're hard to get like a semi-match. And the other place I found them is Nana's Country Shop on Etsy, and she buys them directly from Annie's, by Annie's shop, but I can't buy the bulk quantities. So when she has a sale on them, they're a pretty decent price, and I'll buy the max amount, but it's like 8 at a time. And they're kind of like needles. I just like to have bulk needles. What if I ever run out? But you know, what if? So that's my story I'm sticking to. I've already put the zipper heads away. You guys know what those look like. I don't need to show them to you. Let's see what else. So I bought some pins. Did I show you these yet? These pins. These are my favorite pins. These looks, the size is supposed to be smaller than the silk needle, so the silk pins, which are my current preference. So I'm just going to try these out again and see if I really do like them. I like a really fine pin, even with my cottons, because I just feel like I don't pin often, but when I do pin, I feel like I don't have enough finesse unless the pin is very thin, if that makes sense. My Auntie Lou sent me some fun things in the mail because she loves me and I love her. So I got these washi tapes, and I got my husband just huffed carrying the dog. I don't know what that means. And I got a little waxer, cute little waxer. And then she sent me these library cards too, and they were all in a nice zippered pouch. I haven't started using them. I did share some because she sent me so many. I sent them with I sent some home with my Stitchy buddies. So they all thank you, Auntie Lou. So I got these cards and then these envelopes that have the little sticky that you can put it on the back of your finished project. So I'm excited to share those. And last but not least, something came just now in the mail. And this was inspired by my Stitchy buddies on Sunday. I've needed, in my failed attempts of counting on Vicious, I've needed like a tail tamer. I've used the lasso technique where you just take one of your older threads and make a loop through the needle and pull that loop through underneath your stitches. So when your threads become too short for your needle to tag underneath, I needed a little extra helper. And my friend suggested this little guy, which, let's see. See if we can, this little guy here. Now the reason why she liked this one is because this, she said she didn't really use the hook that much, so I'm anxious to try that out. But this little guy has a little loop part in it, and she said this, in other tail tamers, this part is too thick for the thinner threads, and she often uses like 40 count and 103s and things like that. So this has been helpful for the higher counts. This is on, I got this on Etsy, and I got it, her name is Jennifer Ward, and Pins and Spools is her shop. They're handmade, and they come in this cute tin, which previously stated you love a good tin. And it slides open like that. But as I was playing with it, I remembered from the hobby house I had bought my little dachshund one, and it's the exact same size, so I'm going to keep mine in there. So I now have something to help me tame my tails when they get too short, which has happened lately more than I would like to admit to, but it has been happening. And as for, I think that's kind of all my haul. Certainly is plenty. So I guess plans are the next things. I'll be recording again in probably 2 weeks, and that will be directly after my vacation. It's a working vacation. I already know I have at least one working event to go to, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I'm home anyway, so it'll be okay. It'll all work out. My vacation plans are to sew. Sound familiar, Anna? Anna just announced, from the Curious Crafters, just announced that she's going to have a 40-hour sew work week during the summer and just pretend that she crafts for a living, which I would love to do. But, so I already had this in the plans. This was not, Anna, I was ahead of you on this one. I just hadn't announced it. I am going on a sewing retreat in my own house where I don't have to pack and I can be in my pajamas or underwear all day. Who doesn't want to sign up for that? On the list of things that I would like to get done, top of the list is my halo quilt. My goal is to get it quilted, sandwiched, quilted, and bound on my vacation. I think I can do that. So that's my goal. Outside of that, I definitely want to get the project bags that my friend wants me to make for her completed. And then I might have it in me to finish some cross-stitch finishes. I have some this way, right there. And I have one over here that I would like to do hem stitching or flat folds or something. Do a little finishing party. So that, my friends, is that. It is now about 10 till 8. The sun has gone down. I now only have LED lighting on me, so I think it's time to go see maybe what's for second dinner, snacks. Sounds like my husband was emptying the dishwasher, so maybe it's time to reload the dishwasher. But my goal tonight is to get my laundry done. I've been avoiding it for about 10 days, so I had a nice big pile of it. And I'm down to my last load, so let's get it put away. Let's get it put away, right? Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I hope you have a great couple weeks stitching and crafting and doing all the things. I will be back with all my stitchy glory after my stitchy vacation, and I hope to see you soon. Please feel free to comment and like and subscribe and keep the conversation going. If you have questions or whatnot, feel free to follow me on Instagram as well. It's Becky's House of Sewing over there as well. And hopefully we can connect and keep the conversation going, because that's a lot of fun. And I really like you. Be my friend. Let's be friends. Anyway, I digress. Have a great evening. Happy sewing. Bye.